Fucking get it together, Lara. Jesus. Fine. I'm just gonna not move and touch anything, otherwise things will fall. That's a bit annoying. Oh, fuck it. Okay. Welcome back. Yeah, first of all, before I kind of get deep into the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's taken the time to message me ideas or some feedback. Everyone's been really nice. Also, everyone who's taken the time to watch the videos and like the videos or dislike the videos. You know, it's fine. Thank you very much. It means a lot. You know, I'm not looking to really get anything out of this channel other than like talking. It gives me something else to do, I suppose. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you keep enjoying the videos, and cool, I'll just get into the video. Right, so the band I'm going to be talking about today is New Found Glory. I'll tell you how I got into them. It's like a really like classic story. I like telling this story because it's like, I don't know, I think it's a really nice story. It's kind of like the old school way of how like you kind of get into bands, I guess. I was probably about, I don't know, 15 or 16 maybe, and I used to buy Kerrang all the time, Kerrang magazine, when it was like 80p. It's like I don't know, it's like £100 now to buy. I don't know, it's really expensive. I haven't bought it for years and years and years. And then they used to have like album reviews in the back. And I remember coming home from school once. I was on the school bus coming back into town to then go home, and I was reading the reviews in Kerrang, and the New Found Glory self-titled had just come out, and they were reviewing that. And I can't remember exactly sort of what the review had said, and I think they had like, I can't remember if it was like 3 or 5 Ks it would give them. I hope it was 5 because 3 Ks is kind of weird. I think they got like 4 out of 5 or something. I think it was something like that. It was quite a high rating, and at the end it said, if you like Blink-182 you will love New Found Glory, or you will love this band, or something like that. So I was like, cool, no problem. I got off my school bus and then I went straight to HMV in town, and I picked up the CD and I went home and I never looked back. I loved them. As soon as I played that album, I loved the pop punk, but also the breakdowns. I mean, I didn't really know anything about hardcore music at the time, or I actually didn't know anything about it. But I really liked that different sound that they brought to the table to other pop punk bands that I was listening to at the time. So that's what kind of got me to get hooked on them, I suppose. And yeah, it kind of went off from there. I got a lot of shit for listening to them when I was younger, and not a lot of my friends liked them. So I kind of felt like they were my band for a while. So yeah, I'm not talking about self-titled because I don't have that record. I know they just did the reissue of it, but on vinyl. But it was like, I have a really bad like a knack of like going offline and missing stuff. So when they announced and then brought out the reissue, I decided I'm taking a break from Instagram. I can't be asked at the moment to deal online with stuff. So I took a few days, and it kind of like came and went in that time. And that kind of, I don't know, I try not to take too many breaks online now, just in case I miss stuff. So I don't have that. What I am going to talk about is one of the, it's not a new one, but it's a newer one. I'm talking about the album Resurrection. This one. I like it. It's not Sticks and Stones, and it's not Radio Surgery. I don't have either of those on vinyl, which is why I'm not talking about them. But I do think it's an important record for the band because of sort of why it came about, I suppose. It marks a turning point in the band and a change of tone, a change of feelings, and a change of lineup as well. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that one. Okay, so this is the 8th studio album that New Found Glory have done. You know, like the 8th, when you get into like 8th album territory, it's, you know, it's like things go missing, albums go missing, songs go missing and things. And although I do like this album, I do feel like this is like kind of falls within that category. There are some really good songs on here, but there are also some that I'm just like, I couldn't even tell you the name of the songs. Even if I could tell you the name, I couldn't tell you what they sound like. So that's kind of an overview, that's an introduction to the album, I guess. But saying that, there are some tracks on it. So it came out in 2014. The year before, the main lyricist, and I think it was this, I find it quite difficult to find sort of information on who actually wrote all or most of the New Found Glory songs, but I'm pretty sure it was Steve. Steve and Chad, I think, both did it, but I think it was mainly Steve in the earlier stuff, the more pop-punky stuff, singing about girls or whatever. So he kind of fell into the stereotypical, like, pop-punk guy trap, which is the whole, getting a bit keen on the young girls. So he was, I don't know if he was charged, but I know he went to trial, so he must have been, for, I think it's like lewd acts with a minor or something. I think it was online. Don't think anything was like done in person or physically. And also, it's quite hard to find any information over the last sort of like 6-7 years on it, so I'm not sure if there's been an outcome of that, or if it's been dropped. I don't know but he's been producing music in that time, so I'm guessing that nothing came of it. I don't know. I just needed to point that out. I don't want to be like, oh, he's done this and then not follow up on it. So, yeah. And when I say he found this stereotypical pop-punk guy thing, there's a whole thread on Reddit about it, links to other guys who've done pretty much the exact same thing. Brand new, I'm looking at you. So I'll link to that if you want to check it out. It's interesting. I feel like this record is like not just a departure of Steve, but I also feel it's kind of like they're shedding a little bit of their old skin. So it's kind of like Steve brought the pop-punk element, I think, where Chad brought the hardcore element, and it mixed, and it was like this beautiful kind of mixture, and I love it. But I do think they tried to get rid of the pop-punk a little bit on this record, and they focused a little bit more on the hardcore side of it. And I don't know whether that's like a symbolic thing, maybe, like we've got Steve's gone, let's get our own kind of sound, let's kind of get rid of the Steve sound, I guess. That could be it. That's just kind of my take on it. And they have, it is a little bit heavier, I think, as heavy as New Found Glory can be, I suppose. And saying that though, it's like, I can hear the difference in sound. I can hear that there isn't, I can hear that there aren't two guitarists. I can hear that it's just Chad playing guitar. But he does handle it really well, and it's not like it's missing the second guitar. It still sounds like New Found Glory, and I think that is testament to Chad as a musician, regardless of what I think about him personally. The album starts with the song "Selfless," which is it's a good song. I was really excited when it first came out because I was really worried when I read about Steve leaving. I was like, oh my god, is this the end of New Found Glory? One of my favourite bands from when I was younger. So when Selfless came out, I was really, really happy about that. So I think that's kind of like set the tone for how I felt about the song. So even if even if it was a shit song, I probably would have been like just happy that they were still going. Saying that, it is a good song. The album, I find it starts quite strong. I think it's quite front-loaded. But I'm not going to hold New Found Glory kind of like, I'm not going to kind of say anything like negative about that, just because a lot of bands do that. It's a lot of albums are front-heavy. The Ataris do it a lot, and loads of others. So it's, the forgotten kind of songs tend to go at the end of the album, right? Because you're going to be more engaged with it at the start. But this one is like, it's definitely front-loaded. Like, saying that, so you've got Selfless and Resurrection. Selfless, Resurrection, sorry, I don't know what I was doing then. Resurrection it's a song about I think it's about how the band sort of are coming back from this difficult, tumultuous time with Steve. And, it's hard, to to not get tarnished, I suppose, with the same brush. I mean, it's like the Lost Prophets here. You know, they were a massive band for the time, and for Welsh music. They put Wales on the map, especially the South Wales valleys. You know, and obviously shit went down with Ian Watkins, and it's kind of like a dirty word to say, you know, the Lost Prophets. And I find sometimes when I listen to them, I'm like, should I be listening to this? So the fact that you don't really get that from New Found Glory is kind of cool. But yeah, the song Resurrection is definitely about them kind of rising from the ashes, I guess, resurrecting. And it's about that. The next song, Worst Person, right, I've got a bit of a problem with this song. Definitely about Steve. This was the song where I felt they missed Steve. I know it's about him and it's slagging him off, totally slating him, but I find that the songwriting is a little bit, it's very obvious. Like, it's not that subtle, and I thought they could have been a bit more creative with what they were saying. So there's lyrics like, you didn't want them to know you were hooking up with girls in Boston. It's about like, you know, you're married and you're hooking up with these girls. No mention about age. But I just thought they could have been a bit more creative with it, and I feel like it's just there to have a dig. I don't even think it's that strong a song either. I think it could have gone on the end of the album. Maybe they should have replaced it with Degenerate. It should have been third on the record, I think, because I think it's a catchy song, it's a better song. But yeah, I think it was rushed. I think it's a bit of a messy song, and it's just there to make a statement. That's my opinion. That is my general opinion of the whole album, really. It's just to make a statement about Steve being a bit of a dirty dog. So yeah, so while I say like they haven't been that creative with it, I'm wondering whether maybe I'm kind of not being that fair to them. They have used the lyrics while you dug your own grave, which I'm wondering is a throw to the song Dig My Own Grave that was brought out, you know, years before. I don't know, like maybe Steve wrote that one, probably, I don't know. So if it was, maybe they did think about what they were writing a little bit. Generally on this record, I'm not sure they have thought that much about what they were writing. I personally think it's just a statement record to be like, you know, fuck you. You know, it's like, it came out like 6 months maybe. They recorded it after Steve left, so I feel like it was done in haste. But then, you know, these feelings would have been running deep for a long time. That's the vibe I get from the record. So yeah, I don't know. I better fucking check the track listing. Sorry, I just had to kind of put my Spotify on because I've got the Resurrection Ascension vinyl. And its track order is slightly different to just Resurrection. I think. Well, it is on my record anyway. Yeah, so while I don't like Worst Person, I think it's a messy song. There are parts you can kind of like sing along to, which New Found Glory are known for, and why I love them. But yeah, while that song isn't, I don't really like it. Plus, my other problem with it is, for me, like New Found Glory always kind of like made me kind of think of the whole posse movement. You know, I think that's Chad's kind of hardcore kind of element bringing to it, that posse, PMA, positive mental attitude thing. But you know, like, they are at the same time slagging someone off, which I don't like. Really, I don't like dig tracks. I don't like diss tracks. Sorry, I don't like dig tracks either. And I don't really like negativity that much. I don't like nastiness, and I don't like I don't know, calling people out. I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me. I appreciate that they're angry and they're pissed off, and their careers were on the line. I appreciate that, but just leaves a bit of a Worst Person. It does leave a bit of a bad taste for me. It's when I skip. Yeah. Saying that, it is followed by an absolute banger of a track called Ready and Willing. It was a release, they brought it out, the video is really good. I've watched it countless times, I just think it's a really funny video. And Ready and Willing is a classic New Found Glory song. It reminds me of the good old days, you know, when before all the allegations, you know, when they were more pop punky, I suppose. excellent track. So that kind of brings it back in for me a little bit there, where Worst Person, definitely I was like, no, don't really like that one, but Ready Winner brings it back. And also then that's followed by One More Round, which is, again, you know, it's about Steve. It's basically, you know, it's saying, no matter what you throw at me, I'm coming back. So it's kind of the resurrection kind of vibe, I suppose. It's less direct and less aggressive, I suppose, than Worst Person, but yeah, it's a catchy tune. So that brings it back as well. It's then followed by the song Vicious Love, which I don't like. I don't think I've ever listened to it all the way through until today, but before I was talking about this. I can't stand the song, and I don't know why. Everyone seems to love it. I don't. I think the lyrics are terrible. I'm sorry. The only reason I think they released it, personally, and this might be me being cynical, the only reason I think they released it is because Hayley was on it, or on a version of it, and then was in the video. I'm not saying that's why they did it to get more popularity or listens or whatever. I'm just saying, just put it out there. I think it's a terrible song, and they definitely miss Steve's songwriting. Just saying, if it's a song about a girl, Steve should write it. That's all I'm saying. As long as they're, you know, of the legal age, of course. Like I was saying, I think it is a front-loaded album. I couldn't really tell you too much of the end of the album. It does trail off. There is one song, Stories of a Different Kind, which is, again, like Ready and Willing. It is like an old school classic Newfound Glory, maybe off Sticks and Stones sort of vibe, but that's really it. That's it. I couldn't tell you. Well, I can't tell you because I've got it on Spotify, but yeah, Degenerate they should have put as number 3. Worst Person they should have swapped in with Degenerate. But the rest of the album, I couldn't tell you it. No. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I have the Ascension version, which is kind of like a bonus kind of one, and it's got some bonus tracks on it, which is great, and which has got the Hayley Williams doing Vicious Love. So big up my girl. But what they do have on there as well is another version of Ready and Willing, which is kind of like they've got all their buddies to do the vocals on it, so like different bands take different lines. I don't like it that much. I didn't like it anyway, but what I don't like again is that another dig is, for me, like it's for me it's them showing, oh look at all our friends, Steve, they're all singing this song that we wrote about you, and we're gonna show you all these people who aren't your friends anymore. And I just think it's a bit childish and a bit stupid, but the song is still really good. I just don't like that version of it. I'm just checking to see what else I got in here, because I have not checked this record out. I mean, we've had it for, I don't know, 5 years maybe? Well, fuck me, I didn't know that. You learn something every day. I should really check out the records I'm talking about before I sit in front of the camera and press record. Okay, I'm just going to check my notes, see if I've got anything else to talk about. Yeah, that's it. Now, because it kind of drops off, I haven't really got anything much to say about the rest of the album. Like I say, I was concerned when Steve left. I was worried about the band. And the album they brought before, Radio Surgery, was so good. I thought it was an excellent, really strong pop-punk album, Newfound Glory sound. It was different, and you know, they had like kind of throwbacks to the Ramones on there. I mean, if you look up the Radio Surgery video, it's definitely a reference to the Ramones. And they brought out a song just before Steve, I think it must have been just before he left, or the year that he left, and he's in the video for it, and it's called Connect the Dots, and it's one of my favourite songs. The video is cool. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of references to the band's musical musical influences, musical influences, like they're playing football, American football, with like a bouquet of flowers, which I guess is a bit of a call into Jordan's love of the Smiths. I don't know. I've always thought that's what it was. But that's a great song. And, you know, like a few months later they brought out Resurrection, completely different sound. I think it's still pop punky, but it's a lot more. What I guess, like, you know, Chad's kind of energy to Chad energy. Yeah, he's brought to this record. So yeah, so it is different to Radio Surgery, which I think was probably after Sticks and Stones, I think was their best album. I haven't listened to a lot of what they've done since Resurrection, I'll be honest. Makes me sick. Like, I don't know, like I feel like this whole record was just a dig at Steve, and I feel like Makes Me Sick was a bit of a dig at Hayley. And I think the Forever Times Infinity, I think it's called, the newest one. I listened to it yesterday for the first time. There are some good songs on there, but I don't know, I feel like it wasn't so much a dig at Hayley, but it was more like Chad being like, oh hey, you know, I've got this new girlfriend, isn't life great? And I found it a bit sickly. I know this video makes me sound like I hate New Found Glory. I don't. I really, really love them, and I love the old stuff they did, and I do, but I know Steve's a bad guy, right? Okay, but he was the better songwriter, I think, and I feel like they definitely missed that input. Sorry. I'm trying not to kind of slag off Chad, because musically he's a genius, right? But you can't bring out a song called Complaining and have the lyrics Complaining won't get you anywhere, and then write the album as Resurrection. Just saying. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit now. This is kind of all I've got to say about that record. Please don't think I don't like New Found Glory, because I do, and I have a New Found Glory tattoo. I've got Every Darkness I'll Shine Through from Coming Home, which I think is an underrated album. People slag that one off, right? It's a great record. They at the time, if you think of, you know, what was going on contextually at the time, musically, they did the right thing. They tried something different at the right time. Didn't quite work. They didn't stick with it, but they tried it and they moved on and they came back with even better music. So Coming Home definitely has its place as an album, and it is a good album. So yeah, I don't hate New Found Glory. I'm just kind of not keen on the newer stuff that they're doing, which is kind of how it is for a lot of new bands, a lot of older bands, you know. Don't get me started on Blink-182. Okay, I feel like I've kind of gone on a little bit too. Oh yeah, I've got this little blackboard thing. I meant to put a nail up to hook it up, because I did like a little New Found Glory thing, but I didn't. But I didn't actually put a hook up. But I did draw this like 8-legged dog. That's where art school can get you. Drawing like cartoons of in chalk on a tiny chalkboard. Not very far. Okay, so that's it. Please, like I said, don't think I hate New Found Glory. What do you think of New Found Glory? Do you like them? I know that. I don't know. People put off, I think, by Jordan's voice, because it was quite poppy. It's quite poppy. Personally, I think New Found Glory are solely responsible for this new wave of pop punk, and I think that's a really great thing. I think the posy vibes, the hardcore kind of breakdowns. I think, you know, you wouldn't get like bands like Neck Deep coming out now. Well, they've been out for a few years, I know, but you can definitely see the influence that New Found Glory put on them. So I think they're a very important band, and I think they're kind of an underrated band. I think people that kind of write them off a little bit, but I think they are, with importance, I think they are up there with Blink and Green Day. More so than Blink maybe as well, because New Found Glory, I'm really sorry to say this, but New Found Glory kind of stayed kind of true to kind of their sound, I suppose, more than Blink have. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I've always thought, I get kind of like really passionate about it when I've been drinking as well. But New Found Glory is such a great band. You know, they're so important. They're responsible for keeping pop punk alive. But I'm not drinking right now. It's too early. Even for me, 11:30 in the morning on a Saturday is too early. No, it is too early. So yeah, that's kind of it. Sorry, my next door neighbours are deaf, and I can hear the television coming through the walls. Okay, so yeah, that's it. What's your favourite New Found Glory album? Mine is, it's either Radio Surgery, Sticks of Stones, or self-titled. That absolute classic. My favourite New Found Glory song is Connect the Dots. It was just a single that they brought out. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Don't forget, if you want to like the video, you can. You can also dislike the video, because some people are doing that as well. Apparently that's okay. Joking, I don't give a shit. You can do what you like. Comment if you want to. My comments are on like review, so I have to review them before I put them up. And I forget to do that, so I kind of bulk do it. So I did a load the other day. I will reply to you on the comments. So yeah, don't forget, I'm on Instagram as well. You can follow me on there. And that's it. Thanks very much. I haven't got anything else to say. Hope everyone's keeping safe. I'm not sure where England are with the lockdown now. In Wales, we've been out of it for about 2 weeks. We're going to the pub later. I'm sorry to rub it in. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much. Stay safe and stay cool.